I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time.
Hey, family, and welcome back to another Stormy Days, the podcast. There's always a storm on the internet. And today we are talking about Weirdo Wendy. Oh my God, Weirdo Wendy. Is her show going to be canceled? What's up, Raven MQ?
Hey everybody, yeah, let's get into the scoop about Wendy. And her show. Why?
Weirdo Wendy. Let's just get right into it. For many, many years, I thought Wendy was smizing, but it looks like she has Graves' disease. Girl, what's that?
It is like a thing, like it attacks your thyroid gland. It's like a disease that attacks your thyroid gland and makes it so that like your eyes bug out like that.
Really? Because, like I said, for many, many years, I thought Wendy was smizing, but it looks like she has, a little bit of a thyroid disease. And they also said that she may have thyroid eye disease, which would cause some of the bulging in her eyes. And I know a few people have possibly mentioned that it was due to possibly her breast implants because she's had those breast implants for many, many years and she hasn't changed them, I believe. Is that correct?
Since 94.
She's had the
silicone
same
implant since 94.
She's had the same silicone breast implant since 94.
Yeah, almost 30 years.
So that could possibly be causing her autoimmune problem and making her eyes bulge out. So, ladies and gentlemen, Wendy is not smizing. She is suffering from a possible thyroid disease. So let's jump into it. It's circling around that her show may be canceled. I know on page 6 they had discussed that her show was being delayed from October 4th to now October 18th. Do you think Wendy has a comeback?
At this point, do I think it? Absolutely not. I think that she's pretty much had it. But what bothers me the most is that they're saying it's because of a breakthrough case. How so when she publicly said no to the inoculation? Like, I feel like this is some kind of death watch. And as the public speculates how much time she has left until the flame is extinguished, they all sit on the edge of their seats. And then once she's gone, oh, accolades. Oh, she was so legendary. But like right now, she's getting a dose of her own medicine, being rude to everybody.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I know that she publicly went on, she had an interview with Dr. Oz. And she had spoke about how, with this global disorder that we're facing, she had stated that, some of the, needs to combat this global disorder, she was refusing to, face those needs. She said that she was not getting inoculated and that she was not going to, promote herself getting inoculated. And she was 100% against all forms of inoculation. She has stated she's never had a flu, she's never had a cold, she's never really been sick. And so to hear that she has a breakthrough case of this global disorder, it seems very strange to me. Like, what do you think? Like,
I think it feels more like a clever excuse, clever excuse. Because just to like try to explain away her crazy behavior right now. Because she has COVID and is vaping, right? That's really cohesive.
I completely fell out of my chair. I mean, it was the dip back for me. Girl, like when Wendy, she had her little vaping girl. She took a little vape girl and she did a cute little dip back. It was the dip back for me. But so you think that they're just making this up because she's really, really going through with her extracurricular activities? I mean, her staff has gone public and said, we all know it. Wendy is an alcoholic. She's been drinking every single day. And, they basically been hiding it because they want to lose their jobs. I mean, girl, maybe it's time to take a sit back and, do a little therapy. Is this her karma from all the controversial shade she's been throwing?
Well, she did make a career off of like ratting out people and giving everyone's tea and telling horrible things about people. I mean, I don't know if it's exactly that, but it kind of looks that way.
Yeah, I know she really made her debut career when she, started talking about Tupac, and then, Tupac made a diss track about her. And then, she made a statement about how, she wasn't really bothered by the diss track that Tupac had stated, and she was actually thankful. And no sooner did, that happened, her career kind of like just took off and blew up. But a little bit about Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams goes way back. Wendy Williams is a talk radio host, television personality, and a New York Times best-selling author. Born in Asbury Park, New Jersey, she attended Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts, where she majored in communication and was a DJ for a college radio station, WRB 104.9 FM, in 1989. So she goes way back. Williams began working at 98.7 KISS FM in New York City as a fill-in DJ until being hired full-time as part of the station's morning show. A year later, Wendy Williams landed her own 6 to 10 p.m. shift, eventually winning the Billboard Award for the Best On-Air Radio Personality. That was in 1993. In 1994, MS Broadcasting purchased KISS FM and switched Williams to the company's Hot 97 format. After exciting Hot 97 in 1998, Williams spent time on air in Philadelphia before returning to New York in 2001. When WBLS FM hired her for her own syndicated afternoon drive show, on July 13th, 2009, Williams debuted her daytime television talk show, what we know today as The Wendy Williams Show, and currently can be seen in more than 95% of the United States, much like her radio show. Williams dishes celebrity gossip, conducts interviews, and speaks her mind about current events. On July 31st, 2009, she ended her long WBLS radio show to focus on her television career. Wendy Williams was indicted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 2009. So, I mean, she has history in the industry. Why do you think she wanted to be such a controversial, media personality opposed to being like everyone else, like, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah? Do you think
I think she likes the attention and the excitement of it all, of knowing that she's got some juicy information and she wants to be the first to tell everybody.
I mean, she does a really good job because there's a lot of stuff that I don't always know about celebrities that I hear in her show. And I'm like, wow, Wendy, you are really throwing all the tea. I really do hope that she gets better, and I hope that they don't cancel her show. But there's been a lot of weird things that Weirdo Wendy has been doing, like vaping and doing a dip back. And I had no idea that she was even in a sober house back in 2019. We don't really get to get privileged to a lot of what these celebrities were doing, but I guess she was in a sober living house back in 2019. What do you think she was in that for? Like, I mean, what kind of curriculars was she into? Was she just an alcoholic? Was she like street format curriculars? Like, what do you think it was?
Well, I heard she likes a real snowy day. We'll put it at that. And that she likes to down the hatch, the other snatch.
Ooh.
So she wants to get it in, have fun. Okay.
She likes to drink and, put on her snow boots and just play outside and make snow angels. You better work, Miss Girl. I don't know.
Also ski down a slippery slope.
Well, I just kind of feel bad because I feel like, wasn't she throwing Miss Nene Leakes shade and saying that Nene Leakes was having problems, and she also had mentioned something back in the days about Jocelyn, and I just kind of feel like, girl, it looks like your karma's coming back. What's going on here, Weirdo Wendy? I'm just glad she's not smizing.
She did put a lot of that energy out there.
I'm just glad to know that she's not smizing and that she just has, health issues, and I hope that she can get that taken care of because, She always looks kind of bugged out, and I always just wonder what's really going on with her, girl. What is the real tea?
But
Girl,
Wendy worth more dead than alive. Let's
is
talk
she
about
worth?
that.
Is
Let's
she
talk
worth?
about that. Let's talk about that $1 million in policy premium that she has to pay for Kevin Hunter in the event that something happens to her. He gets paid $1 million for being an employee on that show. Can we talk about it? Everything has a price, doesn't it?
Wait,
Even
you
someone's
gotta
life.
share that one more time. Say that one more time.
Well, she has to pay a premium for $1 million life insurance policy for her because Kevin Hunter was an employee on her show. And it's like everything has a monetary price, like even the value of someone's life. Like, do you think he's really hoping, oh, I hope she gets better? I mean, really?
So she has a life insurance
She has to
policy.
pay a premium because he was an employee on her show to that in the divorce. She has to pay the premium for that policy to maintain it. So if something happens to her, he gets $1 million.
Well, is
It's
there
like
a
a
way
real
that
incentive.
is there a way that maybe she can cash that out and just like give it to him so he's not
Only
just kind of
through
like
the years. Oh, she has to pay the premium, but through the years, she can request to have the policy lowered. But at this time, it's worth $1 million.
wow. Well, her current net worth is about roughly estimated about 40 million, and her salary is about 10 million a year. That's a whopping salary. But you know, people have been speculating that they're like forcing her into psychiatric issues just to like capitalize on the cash. Um, no shade, but is she worth more dead or alive? I know, you know,
I mean, to some people, she's worth more alive because it reminds me of a cow, and that everyone wants to like milk the cow and try to like get every bit that they could get from it, and then put it out to pasture.
wow, that's
Right?
deep. That's
Right?
super
Doesn't
deep.
it seem that way?
But
Like the
why does he
employees
get a
on the
million
shows are,
dollars? Why does he get $1 million? I
because he
mean,
was an employee on her show.
Wouldn't that be finalized in the divorce? Why would he still have
That's part of
any?
the divorce. That's part of the divorce settlement.
I thought I would assume that all of that would have been finalized. It's kind of like that would kind of drive you crazy to know that you're divorced, yet he still has ties to you. Maybe that could be messing with her, making her mentally crazy.
It
That
could.
you know his baby, his new girlfriend, is basically living her best life off Wendy's coin. Is she paying him alimony or spousal support? I mean, have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, I definitely think she has to pay him.
Wow, that sucks.
But if
So
she
maybe
dies, she'll get paid either way. So it's like all
that
about making a buck.
well, that's why we had our last episode about prenups and are prenups important? Are they not important? I don't know, girl. I feel really bad for Miss Weirdo Wendy. I just hope that she gets, you know, get it together. That has to suck to divorce someone and to still have to have ties to them in some capacity in the sense of, oh gosh, in my last days, I still have to give him a coin. Like, oh no, that is so fierce.
But there's always hope. She could turn it around, possibly. Stranger things have happened.
Exactly. Well, Wendy Williams has made a name for herself with her radio show, with you know, her talk show, and she has a clothing line. I really don't see her clothing line. It looks very Kmartish to me, like it sells like Kmart. You know, but I guess she tries, you know, it's cutesy. It's not something that I would particularly want to, you know, look for purchase, but you know, she's doing her thing with her clothing line. She has a big net worth. I wonder what she had to pay out to her husband as far as like the closing of her divorce. That's like some juicy tea. Wendy, we are rooting for you and we're hoping that you get better. We don't want to see anyone lose their legacy in this kind of matter. Like I said, it was the dip back for me, honey. When she did that vape girl, she dipped back. I was like, ooh, no. And I know, you know, people could be so shady and they could be so mean. I wonder why, she doesn't, just take a break and let them do reruns. Don't you think that Wendy may need to just take like a break and just relax and spend time with her family? I mean, she had a major divorce. Maybe Wendy just needs to take a little bit of a break, a season break, and come back fresher and better than ever before. What do you think about that?
Hollywood waits for nobody. I think if she does that, she knows it's pretty much a wrap and a final closing curtain call.
Really?
I exactly think that, yes.
So it's like when you're in, and when you're out, you're out.
Exactly. That's how it goes in Hollywood.
Oh no, will the curtain fall on Wendy Williams? We'll have to wait and see. Love and hip hop superstars, love and hip hop stars Akbar V and Tommie have been caught feuding on the Zeus network. People have been complaining about the Zeus network, saying that it's a shady network and that they love to showcase. And he is a man of color; he is Black himself. But is he capitalizing on what they say white Hollywood does by showcasing Black women as ratchet and fighting? I want to say that Natalie Nunn, she definitely dropped the ball when it came to the baddies of ATL. I mean, you have a show title called The Baddies of ATL, and all you girls were doing were fighting. I mean, you're like 30s and 40-year-old girls, and you just want to be fighting. Is that starting to get played out? Is it starting to get boring? Like, what do you think about that? Black women being displayed as gangsta fighting women. Like, why not show more talent? Why not show, the girls, raising money for a fundraiser and giving to a charity? I mean, why is television and media so obsessed with especially women of color fighting? I mean, isn't that what drove Tamar to, what she recently went through with the, just not feeling so well and having a psychiatric episode? I mean, why are women of color always being displayed on television as fighting and violent? And is that all we're about?
It's unfortunate that people think that that's the form of entertainment that's the most interesting and that they want to see. It's like they want to see people's downfall and demise and misery. Like misery loves company and they want to feel, well, my life is miserable, but look at these people. They have money and look how it's messed up for them. Like they want to get popcorn and watch people fight like it's a boxing match.
I mean, I think that's shade. I think that there's a lot more to be showcased. Like, I remember one of my favorite shows, I used to like The Real World, but I really loved Road Rules. And Road Rules was like a challenge show. It went around and they did different challenges and they lived in the RV, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I love that show because you had to do like challenges and stuff. Why not have a show where a group of women of color get together and they do challenges, they raise money, they go out to the club, you see them dating, you see them having fun, we see them in a different light. We don't want to always see women fighting. I mean, it's getting kind of whack, Zeus. Let's see something different. Like, let's step out of our comfort zone and really showcase women of color in a different light. I mean, Akbar and Tommie Lee, they were caught fighting on the new show that Zeus has coming out called The Conversation. Love and hip hop stars Akbar V and Tommie Lee, they had been feuding for a while, but they put everything on the table for this up and coming new show on the Zeus network called The Conversation that's supposed to be coming out in November. Fans knew it wouldn't end well, and they were proved right as their ongoing drama only seemed to erupt even more in front of the cameras. Despite Akbar V announcing she was leaving Love and Hip Hop Atlanta during the pandemic to focus on her music, their argument did not end there. The Zeus network allowed the contrast duo to talk things out on The Conversation, which went from 0 to 100 real quick. Do you think that was forced or do you think that was real? Do you think, they were paid to do that?
I think it was definitely set up for the ratings to go that way. I think it was definitely, I won't say it was staged, but it was definitely set up that way to come off that way to get those results so everyone can talk about it.
Now, when you say set up that way, like, do you think producers are in each other's ear well, you know, Akbar said this about you. And then the Tommie, they say, well, you know, Tommie, you are the star
I
of the
definitely
show.
think they had a roundtable discussion about it. I think they definitely knew what they wanted, and they want the people to pay to get the Zeus network. So they need something salacious and something that's shocking, almost Jerry Springer-esque.
Well, Akbar V and Tommie Lee, they did agree to sit down and talk about their issues, which I didn't even know they had real issues like that, because when I saw the show,
And Zeus had a big can of gasoline in a match ready to ignite the flames for
but if I
ratings.
look back in history of the Love and Hip Hop show, I didn't really see a lot of feud between them two. I saw more of, Tommie and, you know, she feuded with Jocelyn. And then when Tommie was let go from the show, Akbar feuded with, other girls. Like she feuded with Spice, she feuded with light skinned Keisha. I would have rather have seen light skinned Keisha and Akbar sit down, but she don't have no kind of time. She's like, girl, bye. I don't see it. But I really think that light skinned Keisha and Akbar should have sat down for the Zeus Network's The Conversation. But Tommie Lee and Akbar V, they did agree to sit down and talk about their issues. And things got heated very quickly. And a release video showcased Tommie just going ham, and Tommie was like, you don't have a page, you don't have no endorsements, you don't have nothing going on. But that's not true. Akbar has some hit track records. She has some hit dope songs. Compared to many different online sources, she even has more money than you, Tommie. I mean, you're recorded as having close to $300,000 in the bank. Akbar has been recorded as having over $500,000 in the bank. So she must have something going on. And I would have to say that I haven't really seen much of Tommie's music. And when she came to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta,
music?
That's what I'm saying. When Tommie came to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, she introduced herself as an artist. And now she's an unlicensed model. She's not really a licensed model with like Wilhelmina or, all these accredited modeling agencies. She's like an unlicensed model, but she's doing very well on Instagram. She's an Instagram model, but is Instagram really a real modeling career? Like, could you consider being an Instagram model, being a real model? What do you think, Raven MQ?
I think that the times have changed and that there's definitely a creativity to it. But as far as high-end fashion model or runway model or model of like the industry to like give trends and things of that nature, I think it's a different kind of thing, because it's Instagram is more about the self and saying, look, I'm the baddest one. I have like to show out. It's different.
Well, it was rumored that before Akbar V had joined Love and Hip Hop years and years ago, Tommie Lee and her had gotten to a fight, but that hasn't really been proven true or not. And reports say that Akbar claimed to, beat Tommie or whatever the case may be. I'm not really sure. But let's just face it. Let's face the facts. The facts are Akbar has dope music. Tommie doesn't really have any music except the song that she did with Spice, which I'm sure was written for her. And Akbar has hit after hit after hit after hit, and she's a signed, musician. So it's not really the same. I can't weigh them in the same. And so, I'm just
They definitely couldn't do a verses. They definitely couldn't do a verses.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen them two together and do a rap, battle. If you're an artist, Tommie, where's your music? Where's your songs? Why not, battle with her? Really battle with her, because I can spit, and I love me some Akbar, and I love her music. And I'm just gonna go ahead and weigh the scale on Akbar. But congratulations to them both for having the opportunity to be on the Zeus Network. The Zeus Network is definitely moving on up. And we want to say congratulations to both those young ladies. But we would like to see you ladies actually have a woman-to-woman conversation, because, Tommie, you have a daughter. Teach your daughter how to be a young woman. Teach her how to be able to have a conversation with another woman without feeling the need to get hot-headed and fight and beef. And on that note, we say love, peace, and chicken grease. Bye, Weirdo Wendy.
Bye.
dollars in my bank account. It feels incredible. $1 million in my bank account.